History remembers, King, your kids will live to tell by my legacy. Say giants walk the earth, I'll be there ever day. My angel wings up on my Chevy, swear my swag was heaven sent.
Hey, what it do? It's your boy Dezo, aka Dez, man. Welcome to King's Talk Podcast. I really want to welcome y'all back, man. We are in this place. Finally. I say finally, man, because it's been a long hiatus, man. I took off, man. Some crazy stuff happened. My place flooded. Got my studio flooded out. Had to get the equipment shut down. Man, the podcast was down for some months, man, and it's been trying, man. I've really kind of struggled with it at first, but you know what I'm saying. We back in here. I wanted to, finish what I started. You know what I'm saying. This is something I love to do, and I hope that you love coming by and getting, you know what I'm saying, some of this, entertainment, man, because this is what I wanted to do for you, man. So, yeah, I just wanted to cover that, as far as what was going on. But we are back. Like I said, King's Talk Podcast is back. You know what I'm saying? And just wanted to go over like some stuff that's just been going down, man. Like, it's 2021. The vaccine is going through, I guess. But the thing I'm noticing is that a lot of people we acting like, shit is just back to normal, and it's really not. That's why I'm hoping y'all still being safe out there, man. It ain't just over. I've been telling people a lot of just because the election's over and all that, and it's 2021, don't mean that you still can't get this virus, man. So be careful out there. Keep your hands washed. You know what I'm saying? Cleanliness is next to godliness. You know what I'm saying? So real talk. Stop acting like this virus is just totally gone and we back out here. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I had a lot of other stuff going on, man. A lot of times we forget, in our culture, man, mental health, man, it's really not, thought of a lot, or, and I think we are picking up on it a lot now because it's being brought to the forefront. But I feel like, mental health is really important to me, especially because I know what it's like. This year, excuse me, this year kind of, marked 10 years since my accident. Those of you who don't know, 10 years ago, I was shot in a random drive-by, but yeah. And I was a victim of a drive-by, and I'm paralyzed from the waist down. But I was actually visiting a close friend of mine. It affected a lot of people, not just me, but I've never been one to be running the streets and shit like that and gang banging. So it was some super random shit, and neither was my boy, that I was visiting. But somehow things happened, and it transpired, man. It changed my life forever. And I, for some reason, just for 10 years, I've harped on it, like every time that day has come up, and it's just like, I felt like it's just been a burden, to me, as far as like the investigation, as who did it, never found out who, what, why, all that. The investigation was half-assed. It was done very quickly. Even the news reports put out that it was so incorrect, and it made me just feel like, they just tossed it to the side, and they chalked it up to a gang-related shooting, even though I told them that I had nothing to do with that, But it kind of got down on me, man, because I was just like, man, why do I feel like, this stage is, I know why I harp on it, but it's just like, for some reason, it's just like, why can't I get past it? And I realized that, it's just that I've been pissed off since that day because I'm looking for somebody to blame. I've been looking for somebody to blame and place the blame on, and maybe that would make me feel better, but it wouldn't, and it hasn't. And I feel like when it when it comes to that, we all want somebody to blame for our problems and stuff. We as a culture, society, like we love to just you know even if it's not your fault, even if it's something that's not your fault and it's nothing you had no control over, you still want somebody to take the blame for it. You still want somebody to be pissed off at. And instead of that, I should have just been moving on with my life, but I wasn't. I was always stuck at, man, 10 years ago I was doing this and I was, the happiest in my life, but you never really understand it. And when you live like that and when you think like that, and I feel like in a way, all of it basically just did was it tore my life down. It really did. It tore my life down, and I basically just had to learn how to just build my life up and start over, start a new life. A lot of us are afraid of change. I know I am. I fucking hate change, but when you're forced to do it, you gotta either do it or you just sit there and soak and whine and piss and moan about shit that you had no control over. But or you could just get your ass up and change. And the things that I realized that it did was it was crazy, but it's some things that I also learned from it. I like to call them my three keys to just getting over it. First thing was that it really messed up my love life. I couldn't really put myself out there because for love, because I just felt like I wasn't really worth it. I really didn't care about my life at the time, because I just was like, look, this shit happened to me. Like, I know people are going to be having pity on me and treat me like I'm handicapped and shit like that. And it kind of just, it made me feel in a way that I pushed a lot of people away, not only just family, but girlfriends and stuff like that, man. So my love life was just in shambles, but I realized that I had to love myself first. You know what I'm saying? Until I loved myself, I couldn't love somebody else or allow somebody to come into my space and share that love with. So, I think, as human beings, we are, susceptible to that, but that way of thinking, but you have to love yourself. You love yourself first, and everything else will fall into place, especially when it comes to relationships. I mean, even for me, I'm not saying that I don't have relationships now because of that situation. It's just that it taught me a lot going along these last 10 years of what I was going through with, my different relationships and stuff. And shout out to, all the beautiful ladies that, have blessed me, man. I've learned a lot from me. I apologize for whoever I was, but I'm a new man now. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my first keys. Rule number one is love yourself. Rule number two is never give up your faith. Never give up faith. Whatever you believe in, just never give up on yourself or your faith, because at one point I remember telling my mom that I was done praying. I said, I'm done praying. I'm not asking God for anything else. Why? He's not answering me. I've been asking for years for something different other than this, and this is what I got. And she kind of just stepped back and looked at me like in amazement, like, you need to, figure out what it is that you're asking him for. And I didn't understand it because I'm pissed off at the world and all this shit that was going on. I didn't understand it, you know what I'm saying? But when I really sat back and thought about it, I realized that I was asking God for more than I was ready for. And I ain't trying to get preachy. Don't think that I don't want you to tune off because you think I'm going on some preaching shit. But it ain't nothing like that. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of times we as human beings, we expect, like big things, and when they don't come, we just get pissed off and we shut down, and we easily hit that fuck it button, and that fuck it button is easy. It's always there. We do it at work. We do it at home. We do it in relationships. We do it in all aspects of life. But as far as when you're going through something like I was going through, like I had to keep the faith, man, keep my faith up, and whether it was going to happen in a year or 10 years or 20 years, I had to just keep believing that as long as I just keep doing what I'm doing and making myself and being happy with myself, loving myself first, and doing that, then all of the other stuff will fall into place. But like I said, it was difficult, but I learned how to keep the faith, and just oftentimes, like saying, I pray to God that I was just like, maybe I need to just switch up, like I said, what I'm praying for. Because I realized also that it was probably meant for for it to happen because of the people that I had around me. You know what I'm saying? The so-called friends that I had around me at the time. I realized that somebody had told me, it was like, maybe God sent a flood through your life so you could wash out the bad seeds that was in your life and get them off around you, because I did learn who was, really my friend and who really wasn't. And those of y'all who I haven't talked to in a while, I'm not saying this is y'all, we all grow up and we grow apart, but this ain't nothing to do with y'all. Y'all still my boys, my girls, man, my homies, all of that, man. I appreciate you still. But just the people that know that were just, felt like I was basically taking care of, of friends. And that's how I was. That's how I had always been. I always was one that's like, if everybody's saying no, I'll be the one to say yeah. Because I don't want you. I would hate for that to be me, and everybody just is like, nah, bro, fuck you. I'm not helping. Like, nah. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there for my, my peoples, and so it was just. But I also realized that you gotta open your eyes and understand that people are trying to use you, or are they really trying to be there to help you and add value? Because I speak a lot on that if you got people in your life that aren't adding value, meaning they aren't adding value to your positivity, to your way of life, they just, every time you talk to them, it's negative, or they asking for something, or this and that. It's like that's people that you don't need around you all the time. I know that usually is like people that's close to us, like friends, like family, but and I ain't saying like they got to be out of your life, but you just can't have them around all the time, so I really believe that, like I said, my second key was just keeping the faith and trusting in yourself and whatever you believe in, and just never give up on positive, being having positive vibes. Now we're gonna have negative days. It's gonna be days where you're just like, damn all of that. Like I want to whoop somebody's ass today, but you gotta keep positivity and keep that drive, that motor going, because like I said, I've been from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows in life, man. I have been rock bottom. I'm talking about, to be honest, a few suicide attempts, because I felt like I was just worthless, man. I felt like I was just. I felt like I was just somebody that was a paperweight. I felt like I just had no purpose in life, and people was just gonna have to feel like they had to take care of me, and I had to get that mind state, adjusted, because that right there, I'd have hated to do that and leave behind the beautiful people that are still here in my life, still here with me, hanging with me, went through from the mud, and got me to where I am, because I'm a big nigga, what I'm saying? I'm eating, and people seen me when I was looking like a straight crackhead, what I'm saying? $135. I'm talking about my white beaters was bigger than me, what I'm saying? But, I'm eating people right now, what I'm saying? But, really, it's like, like I said, man, I know what it's like to be down and feel like, life is just fucked up and I can't do this shit. Like, like this person is fucking with me and all this. And it's like, it really ain't even got to be like that. Like, whoever's fucking with you or bringing you down, get them away from you, move them around. Shuffle your, move your pieces around and just your life to where you can get more positivity in there. And that way you can start thinking of better ideas of what to do with your time and money, because that's the most valuable thing. I want to emphasize that too, to my peoples. Like, money is always going to be money, but the most valuable thing on this earth is time. People need to understand that. As I bring this show to a close, man, I just wanted to let you know, man, I am excited to be back. I hope y'all stay tuned, man. I know it was a long drought, but it was a minor setback for a major comeback for me. I can't wait. I'm going to be pushing out some content to you that you're going to love it. We're going to be doing everything from music and movie reviews, which shout out to, Daniel Kaluuya, what I'm saying? My outfit inspired by Black Panther, what I'm saying? What we doing. But yeah, we'll be doing music, movie reviews, even discussions around, relationships and stuff. Occasionally I'll have a female or male guest with me, you know what I'm saying, to do those and everything. So we're gonna pump up the fun and everything in it. But be ready for more stuff, man, because I'm ready to just start pumping out content for you guys, man. I appreciate your time and your attention. I hope you like the show. Remember, above all, we were all meant to be kings and queens in our own right, and this is King's Talk Podcast, man. Peace out.